Hi everyone, Simon Keeling here, Thursday the 10th of January. Thanks again for watching weatherweb.net. Of course, the site to get free of charge by the adverts that are around the screen here, by you coming back and using the site and using the adverts. That's what keeps us free of charge, so thank you for doing that. Of course, you can follow us on Twitter at Weather School, and you can do a search on Facebook for Weather School too. Now, new feature I've added to the website. It was something that I was planning to add during the middle of the year actually, but given that we've got such cold weather coming up, I thought it'd be quite fun to add it on now just to see how it goes. And it gives you the opportunity to enter your own observations and view those that are being made by other users of the site. So what you do is you go to weatherweb.net, and then you click on your observations, and what it does is it brings up a list of the latest observations that have been input by viewers to the site. And if you scroll down to the bottom of the screen, you can enter your own observations as well, and your comments about the weather. So you can do that, and we're trying to keep the observations just down to the previous 24 hours. And what you can then do is if you click on the weather station, you'll then get a list of the latest observations from that station, as well as a summary as to what conditions have been like at that station. Now, it's still in beta phase and it requires some tidying up, and it was something, as I said, that wasn't going to release until middle of the year. But I thought, given the success of the rainfall observation submission that we did, and also the fact that the weather's going to be going so cold, I thought it might be fun to get it online now and just see how it goes. So have a look and have a go at entering your own observations. Now, back to the coming few days, and models still playing games with us and still deciding where they're going to go, particularly next week. It really is a bit of a difficult one next week. Both GFS and the ECMWF are inching towards milder conditions. GFS is by far the mildest model. The ECMWF brings us milder for a time at the back end of next week, and then turns us back into very cold conditions at the end of the week and into next weekend. However, I'm binning both of those. I think the Canadian probably has got it today, but I'll show you more of that in just a moment. Let's deal first of all with the next few days, particularly with reference to the snow on Saturday. This is from the GFS model, and early on all models basically are going for a similar sort of scenario. Here's today, this afternoon, got a front coming into the southwest. That's going to be edging its way very, very slowly eastwards and northwards, and what it does is it brings rain into Ireland, into Wales, southwest England, parts of the southern Midlands. Another front as well, just bringing in some cloud and outbreaks of rain to eastern coast. Now, through tonight, it looks as if those two features pretty well stay close by, so we've got cloudy skies again for many through the course of tonight. Tomorrow as well looks to be a rather cloudy, rather damp day, pretty cold too, with the easterly winds setting in. I think some bits and pieces of mist and fog around, outbreaks of rain as well, and really just not very pleasant. Then we need to watch out to the west here for the area of low pressure that's developing out here to the west of Ireland. Watch what happens to that overnight into Saturday. Look, it starts to spin, it deepens, it spins up, becomes complex, and pushes an area of rain northwards. That's this area of rain here, northwards overnight into Saturday morning. Now, it looks as if it then tracks off the southwestern coast of the country, bringing most of the rain across southern Wales, southern parts of the Midlands, or southwestern parts of the Midlands, into southern England as well, and then tracks northwards for a while, but it engages with this cold easterly flow, and what that does is it lowers temperatures, and it means that the rain turns increasingly to sleet and snow as it heads northwards during the course of Saturday. Now, that's what's causing the problems, because as it goes north and it engages the cold air that's coming in from the east and from the northeast, that's what lowers temperatures. And the big question is, how much snow will there be? Is it just going to be confined to higher ground? What happens at lower levels, and where will it be? Now, I've got to say, this is a classic situation for Wales, the Midlands, parts of the southern home counties, central southern England, to get snow. It's a perfect setup for it. So I think it's something that we really have to say is looking more like happening with each run of the model. Now, overnight into Sunday, that low clears way down to the south, but you notice here, look, it's got this residual area of precipitation across southern coast. That's going to be cold precipitation too, so I do think that's going to be falling as sleet and snow before it clears away during the course of Sunday. And incidentally, you will have noticed snow showers affecting these eastern coasts of the country both on Sunday, and if I just go back a couple of steps, on Saturday as well, feeding in on this easterly flow. Now, this is the 850. These are the 850 temperatures, look, and the time is up here in the top right hand corner there. So what I want you to notice here is what happens. Let's just go forwards a little bit to tomorrow. This is tomorrow. Look, we've got -1s, -2s typically, -3s, -4s across Scotland. Here comes the colder air, look, coming in. It's this boundary line here. This is the -5 cooler air coming in. As we run through the sequence, you notice how that kind of topples into northeastern parts of the country, into eastern parts of the country, and then through Saturday, look, and remember our low was tracking here, and we've got rain here, or precipitation I should say, within, no, not within that zone, it was within this zone here. Just watch what happens, look, as these colder temperatures come down during the course of Saturday afternoon. It's where this joins, where this line turns in from lighter blue to darker blue is the real area that we've got to watch for. And really in this situation, given precipitation already anywhere below about a -3 is probably going to be in the snow zone. So where would I put snow at the moment? Well, this is my latest ideas. This is where I think the snow will be. So this is for Saturday. I think it's within this zone here, central southern Wales, southern parts of the Midlands, central southern parts of England. I think we could get as much as 2 to 5 centimetres at low levels. Big question mark over that. 5 to 10 centimetres is possible on the hills. Confidence level at the moment, I'd be running it probably at about 60% that there will be snow within this zone. Certainly I think snow showers here are going to be coming onto these eastern coasts. Big question mark really is on that, is in how quickly the cold air gets in from the northeast. So that's where I think we're going to be just at the moment. Now, I do put a caveat on it, which says this is only an idea, it's the latest indications. There are lots of people out there I know who will be just looking and hearing the word snow and thinking we're looking at blizzards, Christmas cards, etc, etc. I'm not saying that for a moment, okay? This is an indication for people who want to know what the likelihood of snow is, how the weather forecast really is going to be. I'm not saying to you now it's going to be snow and blizzards, etc, etc. So don't get emailing me or putting messages on the website saying you said, when I clearly haven't said. What I've said is, at the moment, this is what looks like happening, okay? Don't get disappointed if it doesn't happen. Don't jump up and down, and please don't say, well, that line there here is just where I live. Does that mean that we'll get it? That line, these lines here are extendable like that, okay? So it could, that whole area could move north, it could move south, and in fact I think one possibility is that this low actually isn't here but it's further south, in which case it pulls away most of the sleet and snow to the south, and then southwest England, southern England are more in the zone of the threat of the snow. So let's just move on then into Sunday. Very cold day. I think Saturday will be cold, but Sunday is going to be cold across the whole of England and Wales with that northeast flow. It's going to be chilly up in Scotland as well, but really bitter down towards the south with some snow showers in the east. And incidentally, I think on Sunday it could be Kent and East Anglia's turn, with just a feed, look here, of snow showers constantly feeding in. And wouldn't be surprised if Kent and parts of East Anglia didn't get that 2 to 5 centimetres during Sunday. Then we're cold overnight. We've got to watch out for a severe frost overnight to Monday morning. Still snow showers affecting the east. And then this ridge of high pressure, well, the GFS wants to build the ridge of high pressure in, and then look what it does. It brings us a return to these milder southwesterly winds, and this is kind of where I think it loses the plot a little bit. So we'll leave the GFS there, and we'll pick up on the Canadian, because I think the Canadian probably has got this about right. And we need... Details are impossible to come by, but we'll try our very, very best, and we'll go back to where are we? That's this afternoon, okay? Then we've got some tonight, and then we've got tomorrow. And the thing to note from this is the 500 millibar flow, which is something like that. So we've got a ridge in here, and we've got a ridge in here, and we've got a trough just in here. Look, now what's happening is that our trough just deepens as it gets an injection of cold air. So we get this trough deepen. This is the area of low pressure that's going to be coming in on Saturday, moving down to something like this. And you notice how the GEM has a very similar position as the GFS, and indeed as the ECMWF on Saturday, pulls in these cold easterlies, and it's that turns things increasingly to sleet and snow. Then it clears the low pressure away slowly on Sunday, but notice what it does here. Look, it keeps that northeasterly flow, and that would maintain these snow showers again across southeast England on Sunday. I think we have to watch for this possibility of Kent, of East Anglia being stuck in those snow showers. Then heading into Monday and into Tuesday, we maintain these cold conditions, and I think this is where the GEM, the Canadian model, picks up correctly, because it's keeping this cold feed on eastern coast, which I think all areas will stay cold. We've got low pressure coming into northwestern Scotland. That low then comes southwards, and this is consistent with the forecast that we've been seeing over the last few days. This idea of low pressure coming south on Monday and bringing another period of snow. So I think we need to watch for this period of snow, possibly on Monday into Tuesday. Again, don't jump all over me if it doesn't happen. It's just that at the moment the Canadian seems more believable. Why is that? Well, I'll tell you why that is. It's because of this ridge that builds out towards the east. It looks to me as if this will get building in. Now what that does is it builds the ridge north, it turns this flow more into a north and northeasterly, and the effect of that is that it feeds this cold pool. So the cold air is constantly going in, so it's just feeding this cold pool up all the time, which deepens off that low for Monday into Tuesday. So I think we do need to watch the threat of more snow. I think that would last into Tuesday, and then we see that clear away down to the south. We get this easterly flow coming in off the North Sea, and we stay cold basically on the Canadian right the way through until the end of the week and into next weekend, with this block firmly established out towards the east of the country. Now, as you know, I've not been a fan of this becoming a cold pattern, but increasingly looks as if it is going to become a cold pattern. I think you have to bear in mind that there is a significant risk of very wintry conditions next week and very snowy conditions next week as well. Now, in terms of what do I consider significant, well, it's a 50% chance, and this is as best as we can do. 50% cold, 50% mild. That's what we're looking at the moment. I very, very slightly lean into the idea of the cold, but bear in mind that I'm going both on this. You know, it's 50% for cold is a significant risk, and I think we've got to look towards the GEM, towards the Canadian model of probably getting this. ECMWF has been flipping too much, as has to some extent the GFS as well. So this is the reason for me going with the Canadian. But like I say, I stress it again, what I tell you here is what I see and what I'm thinking. It is not saying to you this is going to happen. Do not come back to me and say you said, because here I'm giving you guidance. I'm trying to help you to use the weather. Okay, so I'm sure you understand that by now. I think I've probably made that point quite clear, haven't I? So I'm going to leave it with that. Not going to go further ahead just at that at the moment. For the simple reason, we're incredibly busy here at the moment, as you can imagine, trying to give clients guidance on where this goes. But for now, thank you for watching. Check back again tomorrow. I'll give you an update, and of course I'll be updating the site throughout the day, and also through the Twitter feed as well, and through Facebook too. But this is just one that we've got to be looking out for. It looks like we are going to be in for a very interesting spell of weather in the next few days. But for now, thanks for watching. Don't forget the sites get free of charge by the adverts you see around the screen. You clicking on the adverts, you telling your friends about the site, you using the site, that's what keeps us free of charge. Don't forget to enter your own observations as well. So for now, thanks for watching, and keep the sun shining.